The gentlewoman yields, and with respect to her request, I feel compelled to state that the state's actions, the state is not here today to speak on their behalf. And I would ask that the gentlewoman's questions regarding state law enforcement actions be appropriately directed, whereby she may receive the answer she seeks. But this committee does not have a witness here today from the state of Texas. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Arizona, Mr. Crane, for questioning for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Today in this committee hearing, I've heard that walls will not stop the immigration crisis that we see today. I've heard that walls also will not stop a drone. I've also heard that people are tunneling under walls, and let's not forget the ladders that people are using to climb over the walls. I want to remind this committee that this committee is called the Homeland Security Committee. It is not called the Homeland Wall Construction Committee. Why do I point this out? Because real security, whether at your house or on the southern border or in a prison or at a military base overseas, has always been and will always be protected by overlapping deterrents. I'll say it again, real Homeland Security is supported by overlapping deterrents. Now, a wall is simply just one of those deterrents that overlaps and works in conjunction with well-trained agents, technology, intelligence, and more. Why? Because you can't just say that one security element is going to keep you safe in any of those environments that I pointed out. It's kind of like saying, I'm not going to use a lock on my front door because it's antiquated and people can go through the window, they can climb the backyard. It would be the same to say I'm going to use a lock on my front door, I'm going to use an alarm system, and I'm also going to use a camera system. That's overlapping deterrence at your own home. And any professional that came in and gave you a site security assessment on your home would advise you to use overlapping deterrents. And I think it's sad that we're still talking about very rudimentary, basic, simplistic, common knowledge security measures when we know what we're trying to protect. We're trying to protect our citizens, our constituents from all over the country who vote different ways, who think different things, but we know that they're being harmed by everything that we've been discussing in this chamber for months. They're harmed by the fentanyl. They're harmed by the MS-13 gang members. They're harmed by sex trafficking and everything that comes over that southern border. And I'll acknowledge again, we all know that there are people that come over that southern border who just want a taste of the American dream and to work hard and to raise a family. We can all acknowledge that. But if we're ever going to get serious about security, we have to quit pointing out that a wall isn't by itself security. We all know that. Real security is always, always, always contingent on whether you have overlapping security elements, and every Border Patrol agent will tell you that. I want to turn now to Mr. Jeffries. Mr. Jeffries, in your professional opinion, just because something is antiquated like a lock or a wall, do you believe that we should discard it in trying to secure what we want to protect?
With respect to your question, Congressman, I believe that we should look at all opportunities that are out there without giving a definitive answer from my position as a contracting agent.
Thank you. What about you, Ms. Cooper?
It's been my privilege to support the U.S. Border Patrol for the last 5 years. And in my role, one of my chief responsibilities has been working with each sector to identify their full suite of gaps and requirements. Those come in the form of a dozen different master capabilities, including some of the things you mentioned, additional communications capability, but I should say requirements that ultimately lead to solutions such as additional communications capability, additional technology, additional roadways, partnerships, and in certain contexts, barriers, intelligence and information sharing. All of those, when appropriately combined, the right mix in the right place, can add value to our border security enterprise.
Thank you, Ms. Cooper. I guess what I'm trying to say is this. This situation at our southern border will not change until my colleagues on the other side, and even those of us on this side, start implementing overlapping deterrents at our southern border, just like we would at our own homes. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.